We've been saying it, and now it's really starting to get serious. The market's shifting gears and the sentiment out there. It's no joke anymore. People are going ultra bullish. Bitcoin is breaking through like the floodgates just opened, and XRP isn't far behind. Why? Because XRP often mirrors Bitcoin's movements, and right now Bitcoin is leading the charge. Check this out. Standard Chartered Bank just said something huge. According to SEC data, they believe Bitcoin could reach $500,000 by 2028. Yep, $500,000. Let that sink in. Now imagine what that would mean for XRP's price. $100? That suddenly doesn't sound so far-fetched, does it? A lot of people think we're just speculating, but this is based on real data, not guesswork. Everyone seems to be flipping bullish and fast. So the big question now is, where does it all go from here? Remember, we mentioned before that Bitcoin might see one massive pump before any major downturn. And what we're seeing now could be exactly that. Bitcoin just posted its highest daily close ever. That's a big milestone, and it's pulling altcoins like XRP up with it. Here's another eye-opener. Major whale investor James Wynn has been doubling down. He started with a $270 million long position. That grew to $300 million, then $500 million. And now he's sitting at roughly $700 million. He just keeps stacking. His average entry and liquidation prices are climbing, and that shows real confidence or possibly insider knowledge. Maybe he knows something's about to happen with Bitcoin. Either way, he's putting serious money on the line, betting it's about to surge. And honestly, that move does make sense. According to income sharks, when nobody else is brave enough to take that kind of risk this high up, it often turns out to be the smartest move. That kind of confidence from big players is hard to ignore, and I'm excited to see where this rally leads. Now let's turn back to XRP for a second. Don't take off just yet. XRP is starting to wake up, slowly but surely. But right now all eyes are on Bitcoin. It's finally made a decision after a long standoff. This just came in. Bitcoin has been consolidating for around 11 days, trying again and again to break a key resistance level. Every attempt wore down the sell pressure at that zone. And just now it broke through. Bitcoin has officially pushed above that stubborn resistance line. What usually happens next? A retest. The price will likely dip back slightly to test that resistance as support. If it holds there, the next target is around $113K to $115K. That's the next major ceiling. If this momentum continues, we could be on the edge of something massive. This is the moment where markets can get explosive. So stay tuned, because things could get magical from here. Get ready. Seriously, brace yourself. What we're seeing right now is something we've never witnessed before. Let's zoom in on the 12-hour chart. And yep, it's happening. We're breaking out in real time. Over the next 8 hours, Bitcoin needs to stay above $106,000 on this time frame. On the daily chart, it has about 20 hours to lock in a close above that same level. If that happens, if we get that clean close, it's game on. I've been telling you for a while that this moment was coming. That bullish weekly candle we saw earlier basically forced the market's hand. From here we could be stepping into a no turning back phase, what I like to call only up mode. The only thing that's got me on edge is the XRP to Bitcoin ratio. I'm wondering, will they revisit those lower levels first? They've come really close but haven't fully tapped those lows. Ideally, I want to see Bitcoin make a clean run to $115K, while XRP stays put, and then XRP suddenly takes off. That would be the dream scenario. But either way, the setup is looking pretty incredible right now. This is what we've been waiting for. Meanwhile, major players are making bold moves. A French firm called the Blockchain Group just raised millions to buy Bitcoin. Yeah, they're on a full-on buying spree, and that's not by accident. We're shifting into a brand new financial system. Will Bitcoin have a role in that system? I believe so. But first it might need to pass through a kind of initiation phase, some kind of big shakeout or dramatic dip before being propped back up again. That's exactly why I'm warning you not to short this market. The truth is, we have no idea how high they'll push prices before pulling the rug. There are still so many bears out there, even with all this bullish momentum. Just look at the data on Binance alone. There's $20 billion in Bitcoin shorts sitting right around $107K, waiting to get wiped out. That's where market makers feast. It's crazy, why are people still shorting with that kind of risk hanging in the air? I can't figure it out. Look, you're free to do whatever you want, but personally I wouldn't bet against this trend. When the floodgates open, and it takes a massive amount of force to pry those open, anything can happen. And when they do open, we usually only go one direction. Oh, and it gets even crazier. If Bitcoin hits $108K, another $1.1 billion worth of short positions could get liquidated. That's not just a price level, that's a firework fuse waiting to be lit. Another $1 billion could get liquidated at $108K. But hold on, it doesn't stop there. There's still more firepower left. Once Bitcoin reaches around $115K, that could be the true kickoff for alt season. That's where things start getting really interesting. And it makes sense, right? Bitcoin leads and the rest follow. If Bitcoin's been climbing but still in a broader downtrend, that final breakout when it flips from resistance to support could be the signal that sets the entire market ablaze, including XRP, Ethereum and all the other altcoins. According to Crypto, we might only need one more strong push. On the monthly chart, Bitcoin is flashing signs that it's not done just yet. We're not at the top, not even close. When we hit the peak, there will be euphoria, people celebrating, calling for insane targets. And ironically, that's when the charts will scream sell, but most won't listen. If you've been watching closely, you'll notice a pattern. Every local top has lined up with touches on a specific trend line. First there was one touch, then another. Each time Bitcoin hit the trend line and got rejected. That third touch also came with a bearish divergence. The fourth touch, we haven't seen it yet, which suggests another explosive move is coming. Once it hits, people will be shouting for $200K, but that may be the very top before a retracement. Now here's where it gets wild. While many are still in disbelief, big money is preparing. A French blockchain company recently raised millions just to buy Bitcoin. That tells you something. This isn't just hype. We're transitioning into a new financial era, and Bitcoin seems to be at the center of it. In my opinion, it belongs there. But before full adoption, we might see one last shakeout, a correction, a collapse even, then the rebound. That's why shorting now is risky. You have no idea how high they'll push it first. What's crazy is that there's still $20 billion in short positions sitting at around $107K on Binance. That's an insane amount just waiting to be liquidated. The market makers, they're licking their lips. They'll scoop that money up in seconds. So again, why short? Especially when the setup is this bullish. You don't want to stand in front of a freight train when the floodgates are opening. At $108K, another $1.1 billion in shorts could be wiped out. This isn't just speculation, it's math. When those levels get hit, things can move fast and hard. Bitcoin doesn't break resistance gently, it blasts through it. And when it does, the entire market gets dragged with it. Speaking of timing, indicators show we're